Parrots and cockatoos are some of the most familiar and charismatic birds on Earth. But what is the difference between a parrot and a cockatoo? There are 4 key facts we need to account for. Firstly, distribution. There are only 21 species of cockatoo in the world, and they are confined to Australia, Indonesia, New Guinea, the Solomon Islands and the Philippines. The true parrots, on the other hand, comprise over 330 species distributed across Africa, Southern Asia, Central and South America, and Australasia. Secondly, colour and size. The most obvious difference is colour. Parrots are synonymous with it. Many species are furnished in green, red and blue. The green and blue colour in most parrots is caused by the interaction between light and the nanostructure of the feather, not pigmentation. Cockatoos, on the other hand, lack the feather nanostructure that creates the blue and green colour in parrots, and are predominantly white, black or sometimes pink and grey. Thirdly, cockatoos possess a movable crest, which they erect when excited, a spectacular feature which is absent from the true parrots. Finally, the beak. Both parrots and cockatoos have a strong, curved bill, which allows them to feed on seeds and nuts. Large macaws exert a bite force equivalent to a small dog, which allows them to break into the hardest nuts. Parrots and cockatoos also share zygodactyl feet. They have 2 toes pointing forwards and 2 pointing backwards, which allows these birds to manipulate food with great dexterity. How do these 4 points explain the difference between parrots and cockatoos? We need to travel deep into the Earth's past. 200 million years ago, our home looked very different, dominated by 2 landmasses, Laurasia and Gondwana. Though still subject to debate, it is thought that it was in the primordial forests of Gondwana, some 50 to 100 million years ago, that parrots first emerged. At that time, Gondwana was in the process of breaking up. The land masses that would ultimately form South America, Africa, India, Antarctica, New Zealand and Australia drifted apart, each carrying an isolated population of ancestral parrots that ultimately evolved into the wealth of species we see today. If this prevailing theory is correct, it explains the distribution of parrots we see today, with their diversity centred on the former Gondwanan lands of South America and Australia. But what about cockatoos? How come they share so many similarities with parrots, but are confined to a comparatively small distribution? It turns out that cockatoos and true parrots are closely related. In fact, cockatoos diverged from a parrot ancestor that lived approximately 47 million years ago, when Gondwana had broken up and Australia was drifting northwards from Antarctica. Since cockatoos first emerged on the Australian landmass relatively recently, their distribution is confined to the continent and islands to its north. This common evolutionary history explains why parrots and cockatoos exhibit the similarities that they do. They share a common ancestor that already possessed the characteristic curved bill and zygodactyl feet they share today. Despite their differences then, the birds we call parrots and cockatoos colloquially are all in fact parrots. The cockatoos are just a distinct family of parrots that diverged around 47 million years ago in what became Australia. We can therefore say that all cockatoos are parrots, but not all parrots are cockatoos. In Australia, we are fortunate to have an abundance of both. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.